Before we start the video, I just want to mention that this video is sponsored by Atelier Online Alchemist of Brescier is a JRPG gacha game based on the popular Atelier series that you can download in the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. Your journey begins at the Royal Academy to become the best alchemist there is, and this game allows you to explore this vast area of Brescier Island. In this world, the main focus is alchemy. The game allows you to pick up anything that is 2D looking, then mush them all together using alchemy to create this dangerous looking spiky ball. And what may this dangerous looking spiky ball offer, you may ask? Well, my friend, you get to chuck these things at creatures that you run into. These things literally do more damage than my weapon, which is pretty pog. You also get to customize your own characters for your own unique and original tastes. Right now, there's a special event gacha featuring Totori, a fan favorite character from the Atelier Totori, The Adventure of Arlen DX. This gacha features everything related to Totori and also Totori herself, and on your third multi, the game guarantees a Totori gear or Totori herself. Oh, I also forgot to mention, if you play this game for 7 days, you get to unlock Ryza, who definitely seems to have a very rich personality. So go download Atelier Online right now on Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. Anyways, back to the video. Alright, Beidou, the absolute badass. Her swings are like a gust, turning her enemies into dust, putting the fan base into lust, to the point where building her is a must. But there's something I don't trust when MiHoYo gave her more bust than Ningguang. What the actual What? Yet you guys still feature her only 2 times? Are you kidding me? Anyways, if you don't want to end up like that, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe because only a small percentage of you guys are actually subscribed to this channel, so consider doing that since you can always change your mind. But do you wanna? That's f***ing Timmy. You really wanna? Starting with elemental abilities, elemental skill, Fat Gum, and yes, this is a reference to My Hero. Now there's a press version and a hold version. The difference is that the press version is more for full countering, which I'll talk about in a bit, but for the hold version, Beidou creates a electro shield based on her maximum HP, and the shield has electro resistance and will apply electro on Beidou during the cast of this ability. So the damage will scale depending on the number of hits Beidou received during this ability, and the full damage is gained when she's hit twice. The full counter is her passive, which I'll talk about in a bit. Elemental Burst, Beidou's E but electro and has unlimited range. So basically people have the impression that Beidou's Elemental Burst is like an electro barrier, so whenever the enemy hits you they will shock themselves or something like that, but that is wrong. This thing around Beidou only increases her interruption resistance and decreases the damage taken. Okay, so I guess it is a shield. You need to auto attack to actually deal electro damage to the enemy, hence why I call this Beidou E with unlimited range, because even Ningguang can use this. Oh, and yeah, Susanoo, that's what I should call it. Susanoo. Yeah, this is what a Susanoo is, not this fucking thing. I don't know what kind of Naruto you watch, but that's a fucking stand, not a Susanoo. But anyways, moving on to passive talents. Passive 1, full counter. When you cast your E at the exact moment when the enemy hits you, it will grant the maximum damage bonus for Beidou's E, which is the same as receiving 2 hits by holding. So you can press your E the exact moment the enemy hits you, or you can hold it and release it the moment the enemy hits you. Either is fine. The reason why you might want to counter precisely is because your Beidou probably wasn't really meant to be tanky, so your hold shield is probably vulnerable to these fucking assholes. So yeah, you might want to practice because the abyss is full of them. Passive 2, Berserker. After using Fat Gum or full counter, your Beidou will have increased damage and increased attack speed for her auto attacks. The delay for her charge attack is also decreased. Passive 3, oh, I know how to swim. Decreases stamina consumption for swimming by 20%. Yeah, I think Ningguang. Moving on to Constellations, definitely the longest part of the video. Constellation 1, Electro Shield. Constellation 2, Burst Electro Damage now jumps between enemies. Constellation 3, Full Counter becomes Revenge Counter. Constellation 4, after getting hit, Beidou's normal attacks will become Razor's Burst Electro Damage. Constellation 5, Susanoo is stronger. Constellation 6, enemy electro resistance is down. Yeah, I think Ningguang's constellations are... Moving on to artifacts. Today's video is focused on Electro Beidou. I'm too lazy for Physical Beidou, and honestly, the only difference between the two is one fucking artifact, so I mean, use your common sense, I guess. Attack for Sands, Electro Damage bonus for Goblet, then crit rate or crit damage for Circlet. For substats, focus on crit rate and crit damage, attack percentage, then energy recharge. What about Elemental Mastery, Jay? Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that, because as useful Electro Charge is, it doesn't really do that much damage, at least compared to her burst, so personally, I wouldn't recommend Elemental Mastery. Also, I have no idea who's triggering the reactions when it comes to Electro Charge, so yeah. But remember, it's your account, guys. You literally own it. You can do whatever you want. I'm not going to though. For Psets, for beginners, 2-piece Exiles and 2-piece Berserkers is probably your best choice. For endgame, looks like there's more options. 2-piece Thunder Fury and 2-piece Gladiator for main DPS. 2-piece Thunder Fury and Noblesse for sub DPS is what I'm personally using, and it's much easier to farm. And then there's that new artifact from the trailer, which is probably much better to be a sub/DPS burst support build for Beidou. My reaction to that artifact was, what the f***? I have to rewrite my script again. God damn it, Mihail. You don't have to change anything for Ningguang. Moving on to weapons. So starting with 5 stars, Wolf's Gravestone. This is indeed the best claymore hands down, just incredibly powerful. Skyward Pride, pretty great for energy. Song or whatever the fuck this is called, probably not. Unforged, pretty underrated weapon, but amazing with shield. And at C1 Beidou, you have that, so great. Moving on to 4 stars, Black Cliff, high crit damage, decent ability, but costs Star Glitter, credit card claymore, high crit rate, and amazing ability. This is what I personally use for Beidou, but again, it requires your credit card. Royal, Timmy of all weapons. Fuck this thing. Sadly, it does shine sometimes, but for Beidou, probably not my first recommendation. Racist Blade, absolutely amazing, not the racist part. Highly recommend using this weapon if you have it. Rain Slasher, like I said before, it really ain't that necessary. It will work with Electro Charge comps, but honestly, the pure damage from Beidou's burst is probably higher. Sacrificial, not necessary. Favonius, not necessary. The Bell, this should be called the hell. Like, what the hell? How are you so shit? Moving on to free-to-play weapons. White Blind, no. Snow Tombed, no. Prototype Archaic, yes. Big PP damage sword. Then there's those new weapons coming out in Inazuma, and I have no idea what to tell you. Like, oh my god, just tell us what these weapons do in these videos. Jeez, real discreet for no reason, huh? It's like Ningguang in banners, like she's invisible. Holy shit. Moving on to teams. So the best team for Beidou. I have no idea about something super specific like that because I don't have a clue what artifacts you placed in your characters, but here's some suggestions. Fischl, the power plant, the best battery for Beidou. Just a battery, like literally the only purpose. If you have low energy recharge on Beidou's massive 80 cost energy, Fischl is there for you. And also the resonance buff itself act as a battery as well. So it's an amazing combination there. For other electros though, I probably wouldn't use them with Beidou, mainly because those units probably won't benefit each other with Beidou other than maybe Keqing. Lisa is more focused on elemental skill, and I guess Razor can work too, but I doubt he's as efficient with energy compared to Fischl. Other elements wise, you really get to be creative with this. Animal works fine, Electrocharge works nice, Overload, which I discovered recently to be pretty amazing, so might want to check that out. I think Animo Overload teams are actually pretty good, and to be honest, I think Sucrose and Shangling will help you with those reactions very nicely. Bennett also works incredibly well. In terms of characters you might want to avoid, I would say Cryo units, because it's kind of pointless if you aren't building physical DPS. If you are though, obviously use that, but for electro-focused Beidou, super contact damage sucks, and the effect is useless for you. Electrocharge, of course, Xingqiu is the best at making enemies wet, which now I'm thinking sounds incredibly inappropriate, so I'll fix it to applying Hydro. Child also works if you have him though. Other than that, do whatever you want. Try using different teams to see what you like the most, and remember, it's your account, you literally own it, and you can do whatever the fuck you want. Like me, for example, I just put these two together because they're both hot, and it fits the lore. If you tell me that this team sucks, I would probably tell you that you're a controlled freak that thinks this thing is adorable. You evil son of a bitch. So how the f do you play Beidou? Beidou is a cool character. She is somehow more bustier than Ningguang, which I think is f***ing bullshit. but she's pretty cool. So I think every Beidou players can agree that the satisfaction of countering the enemies is an incredible experience, and surprising enough, that feeling never dies. Also, there's really no mechanic behind Beidou's Susanoo, so all I can tell you for her burst is to keep auto-attacking, but some tips I guess. Number 1, if you're not used to countering at that precise moment for maximum damage, then you can still get hit 2 times with your holds and do the same amount of damage. But like I said before, don't rely on it too much because the shield is based on her maximum HP, and if that's low, of course these piece of shits will die right at you. So just practice by invading these innocent Hilichurl's private property and use them as training dummies, I guess. Number 2, if you cast Beidou's burst while inside Bennett's burst, the burst will still have increased damage even after leaving the AoE area, which leads to number 3. Since the burst is going to stay buffed, might as well use her burst at the very end of switch rotations since her cost is high and the burst duration is short. But that is pretty much it for this video. If you guys did enjoy, consider leaving a like, and also if you want more content like this, consider subscribing to my channel. Other than that, hope you have an amazing day. Bye bye.